Right. So the first thing would be to understand the power of your story. So understanding how your money story shapes your financial identity and decisions is really key to understanding where you've been in the past, where, and how that developed in the past, where you are now in the current present, and where you want to be in the future. And it really just depends on what's happened in your past and how you are currently navigating that. Are there things that need to be removed or identified or have awareness about? And where you want to be in the future, you may have big goals, but are you able to reach them, or are there things still holding you back? So there's a lot of context around that in many different ways. So, I've worked with a lot of people who've come from a place where they've been in that survive mode and they wanted to be in the thrive mode. And really what it came down to is them being willing to give up the things that they thought were their beliefs that they no longer believed, but they felt obligated to believe because they would be judged if they didn't. And realizing that doing what's best for themselves is really what's going to drive them forward, so that they can get into the space of understanding that they're worth more and actually that's what they deserve. So, there are a lot of examples that I have of my clients. I'll give you an example of John. I work with John. He was really struggling in his business and his life as well. He didn't get along with his kids. He was divorced for years. He was not happy. He was working so hard, long days and making very little money. Once we started working together and we realized where things were coming from, he told me the story of his family and how he had two older brothers and a sister. And then the mother got pregnant again. And when she went to have the baby was born stillborn. So when the baby was born stillborn, it wasn't alive. And, all the family was there. And the mother looked at him and John and said, this is all your fault. If you hadn't been born, I'd be able to have this baby. And she drilled it into him again and again and again. So he was to blame for this dead baby, right? And how it was all his fault. And he grew up believing those things. Okay. No wonder he had so many issues and things and, that had rippled down into his life and not in a good way. Once we started to clear those negative beliefs and he had the awareness and understanding that that's where things were coming from, he started to have better relationships, not just with himself, but with his children. His sense of worth went up. He started booking bigger clients. He started bringing in the money and he knew his worth, right? And he stopped sabotaging himself, thinking he didn't deserve things. So transforming your money story is not just about money. It's connected to so many other factors in your life. And this was a great example of him moving from survivor to wealth creator. Now he only books high ticket and he runs leadership workshops. I mean, I'm so proud of him. He's really is stepping into the person that he really wants to be, and he knows that he's worth. Okay. And that's the goal here, is to get you becoming a wealth creator. And identifying the values that are tied to your financial story, right? Because those are the things that are making a difference in how you perceive things. And shifting your story influences your financial opportunities. As I said, so many opportunities start coming to you because you're not getting in your own way of those beliefs that aren't serving you.